Hello, everybody. This is Sue Frederick, and I am a master numerologist. Began studying numerology in 1980 when my beautiful husband, Paul, died of cancer, and I was only 29 years old, and I needed to make sense of the world. Nothing answered my questions like numerology. In my first reading that I received as a gift in my grief, I was shown my own birth path, why I was still here, why Paul left early, what our soul agreement was, and what he was learning, and what I had stayed here to learn and do. All of that played out in the numbers. And here I am 45 years later and very, very happy and working with the numbers ever since 1980. So let me teach you a quick overview. This is a short video to give you a quick summary of the numbers 1 through 9 and the 3 master soul paths that I work with, 11, 22, and 33. So as you know, Pythagoras started our number system that we use today, but as you may not know, he also was a spiritual teacher, a mystic, and he started a school for enlightenment. And he taught from the very beginning that numbers had a meaning beyond quantity, that every number had a spiritual meaning as well as a very practical meaning. And today, all these years later, we never get taught that in math class, do we? So let me give you a quick overview. The number 1 means just what it sounds. You will feel self-doubt as your challenge, if that's your birth path, and you will also feel a great urge to follow your own inner voice, to be a leader, to be a visionary, to do things your way, even if that means not following the conventional security of our modern world. Many 1 paths are entrepreneurs, actors, they run their own businesses, or if they work in a big company, they get promoted and promoted and promoted until they rise to the top like cream. They carry an energy of leadership, but of course, they go home at night doubting everything about their worthiness because their arc of learning in the lifetime is to rise up through self-doubt and realize that their unique voice and vision is the only thing that they can follow, and it's how they will make a living no matter what. Now, number 2, again, just like it sounds, T for 2, it's about connection, relationships, sensitivity, and when it's sort of used to its lowest common denominator, it's about details, order and details. For example, if you have a office administrative person who is on the 2 path, then you can bet that they will be very, very organized, but their mission is to look up and see the bigger picture, to connect with the higher meaning of life and to connect with people more than things. And once they get over their sensitivity, which often in child is quite painful for them in childhood, but as they get older and learn to navigate that sensitivity, then yes, their intuitive channel is wide open. They become an incredible artist or musician or healer, but they have wide open sensitivity and connection to the highest realms. And then the 11 is the higher frequency of the 2. So if you're on the 11/2 birth path, you have both ends of that continuum that you've come to express in this lifetime. And 11, like we just said, it is the highest expression. It's a sacred number. It's about sacred connection, not only to other people, but to highest self and to the divine, the beings, the higher energy, intuition. Many near-death experiencers are friends of mine, and so many of them are on that 11 birth path. And I always think there are no accidents. You know, they agreed to experience an out-of-body event in this lifetime to let them really shift up to the higher frequency of the 11. Then we come to the number 3. 3 is play and creativity and self-expression and uniqueness. Often you meet a 3 and they are wearing the brightest colors in the room, and they're so unique in their self-expression, but they're often very stuck in their heads, very overthinking things. Now, that's good for entrepreneurs. They make very good entrepreneurs. But the mission, the arc of learning of the 3 path is to quiet the mind and open the heart. And if they don't achieve that, they really get lost in their head and their thoughts. It can even cause mental illness at some point. So their soul is calling them to learn to quiet the mind, meditation, sacred practices, and then use that creative, self-expressive energy of the 3 to bring inspiration and light and great new ideas to others. And then we come to the number 4. Now, my path is the 22/4, so I know the 4 energy quite well because my path includes both the 4 and the 22. The 4 is about strength and hard work. And when you're on that path, you feel compelled to work hard at anything you do. You're obsessed with deadlines. You're often obsessed with time and clocks and how much time do I have for this? And I want to get this done. And I am so like that. It's crazy. And physical strength is important to you. I'm in my 70s and I still work out all the time. And then emotional strength is often something that you're developing over the lifetime on the 4 path. And then, of course, physical, spiritual, and emotional strength are part of the journey of the 4. But they're very responsible, hardworking people. They're honest and they have integrity. And the downside is they can get lost in work for work's sake and not be able to see beyond the drudgery of hard work. But the higher frequency of the 22 says, yes, let's work hard, but let's bring a higher vision to the world to help shift consciousness on Earth. And that can mean in politics, that can mean in spiritual work, that can mean as a therapist, as a writer. You are obsessed on the 22/4 path with bringing higher ideas to the world. Then we come to the 5. The 5 is all about physicality, passion, change, adventure, courage, all things that I personally love and truly admire in 5-path souls. And they've come to learn that courage. If you meet a 5-path who's very shut down and afraid or hiding themselves in alcohol or drugs, then they're off path and they will hopefully find their way, but they're going to need to understand a bigger vision of life than just the physical world, or they can get lost in addictions and other passions of the body and lose their way. At their best, they are a great alternative thinker, entrepreneur, healer, coach. They carry a bright light of charisma wherever they go, and that's to get everyone to pay attention to their message. And then we come to the 6. The 6 is love and heart and home and family. It's we are the world. And Michael Jackson was a 33/6. Everybody has a high, great potential they're here to achieve, and then also the dark side. And it's our free will about how we navigate that arc of learning on our path. At his best, Michael Jackson was the 33 who sang We Are the World and brought the world together. Dancing in the 80s brought such joy. And at his worst, he was lost in what other people told him and kind of misled him about. And of course, addiction, very common for a 33 because they are so sensitive, so high frequency. They are truly angelic beings. And it's believed that Jesus Christ was on the 33 path. So we often call it the path of true compassion. And then we come to the 7. The 7 is a sharp and edgy number, and it's that way in life. They tend to be very intelligent, very analytical, and if they don't have a spiritual path, they can just really be cynical about the earth and not believe that this is an all good, all God universe. And so the 7, if they're awakened, are great spiritual teachers, incredibly smart and wise, and they've analyzed the world enough to be able to explain it to us in quantum physics terms if they want to. And they are often PhD students, or they have a degree, a PhD in psychology or mathematics or philosophy. They love digging into the deeper meaning of life, and they never wanted to get down in the mucky muck of physical human life. They're above it all. And I love a 7-path soul. And then we come to the number 8. 8 is great, and it's all about power. 8, if you chose that as your birth path, it means you came here to own your power in every way possible. And that means every challenge that comes your way, if it's emotional, spiritual, physical, or financial, it is asking you to step up, to own your power, to quit that awful job, to become an entrepreneur and launch your own company and become a millionaire, because you're learning the use of power in your lifetime. So money will flow to you, but you're here to learn how to use it correctly and use it to empower others, not to be abusive or greedy. And then we come to the 9. The 9 is the old soul path, tying up all the lifetimes in order to step into the higher meaning of compassion, forgiveness, unconditional love while still on earth. They are often bitter and disappointed in the world and in the people around them because they are highly evolved souls by the time they take a 9 path. And yet they are here to bring that understanding, that wisdom, and make the world a better place. A 9-path soul needs to go to bed at night knowing they made a difference for somebody or for the world. And they can be a great bridge, healer, hospice worker between the physical world and the divine. So those are the quick overviews of the different numbers in numerology, and they can be applied to your birth path, to your personal year cycles, to your pinnacles, and to every aspect of numerology. In the next video, we'll talk about personal year cycles and pinnacles and cover the sun signs, which I always combine with the birth path to get the deeper meaning of that soul's arc of learning. And remember, the most important thing to know about numerology is it's a sacred art. It's here to help us find our way. It's not meant to be used as superstition, thinking, oh, that's a bad number, that's a bad sign. That is superstition. All numbers are trying to help you, trying to promote your soul's growth. And that's from the number on the address of your house to perhaps your phone number to the number of your birth path. And if you go to my website, SueFrederick.com, you will find my soul path calculator. It's on the top of the page in the nav bar. Just click on soul path calculator at SueFrederick.com, and you can input your birth date and calculate all of your numbers. I'll see you soon in the next video. Again, this is Sue Frederick, and my website is SueFrederick.com.